Alrighty, this is Andrew Brokos back with the second part of my video on dealing with three bets, continuing on the same tables as last week. I definitely recommend, if you've not seen part one of this series, go back and watch it. All the theory stuff that underlies the strategy I'm employing today um, is based or is introduced in that video, and that includes some of the different strategies for dealing with three betters, and specifically what I'm going to be doing in this video, which is I'm going to be looking to, when I do play back a three bet at all, and most of the time my response is going to be to fold, um, just to underline that for the umpteenth time. I'm going to lead out here. I think that Pandep, either if he doesn't have anything, he's probably not going to bluff at it, and if he does, I'm going to start building a pot against him now. That's not a good card for me, of course. But my strategy here for dealing with aggressive three bets is that I'm going to look to call them down. To call, basically, I'm going to look to call, and sometimes I'll be slow playing with my big pairs. Sometimes I will be calling light, like maybe with a draw of some sort, with the intention of making a play, or not, like a suited connector, hoping to flop a draw, or otherwise make some kind of play post flop to float, to bluff raise the flop, um, to check raise the flop, or call the flop and bluff the turn. I'm going to be looking to do something along those lines, rather than four betting, which is kind of an alternate strategy for dealing with three bets would be to four bet. But I think those two they're not wholly inconsistent. And I tried to talk about in the last video some of the reasons why you might choose three betting, or so you might choose four betting versus flat calling. But you only get so many big hands, and it's really important that you do the same thing with your big hands that you do with your bluffs or your playbacks. So you don't want to be doing something like four betting when you have aces, but then calling when you have Jack 10 suited. Generally, you're going to want to do the same thing with strong hands as with big hands, so that when you do flop that draw with Jack 10 suited and you check raise the flop, people aren't going to be able to say, "Oh, he must be on a draw." They're going to have to consider the possibility that you were slow playing aces by just calling the three bet pre-flop as well. And similarly, if you're going to four bet with Jack 10 suited and fold to a shove, then you'd better be four betting with aces and obviously calling the shove as well, or else people are going to be shoving over a lot of your four bets because you never have anything when you do it. And the latter videos in this series will focus on a four betting strategy, but for now we are looking at a strategy based on calling and trying to get aggressive post flop.